Hi, you're watching Current Issues. My name is Vineet Malhotra. With the first of the month coming up, banks have clarified that there could be a delay in disbursing salaries as most banks are running on empty and some are even dry. The demonetization effects seem to be trickling down, but are there any areas of concerns that the common man should be worried about? Should the common man who has supported this bold move by Prime Minister Narendra Modi signal an alarm that we still are probably not privy to? Well, that is what we find out in Current Issues, and that is what we are going to do. And we are joined by our guest. I'm joined with me in the studio by senior journalist Harsh Ranjan. Sir, thank you so much for being here. Zafar Syed, spokesperson for the Bharatiya Janata Party, will also be joining us, and Nasir Hussain from the Congress Party will also be joining us. Mr. Harsh Ranjan, let me start with you. The Indian rupee could depreciate as a result of, investors are probably going to move towards robust currencies. What kind of drawback will that have on the 3 quarters, which are probably speculated, to affect the GDP in a negative pattern?
See, if you see in the last 3-4 days, rupee has depreciated a lot. Just 3 days back, it depreciated, very sharp depreciation of 30 paise. So it can see a little bit of correction, but the statement which you are making that rupee will be strengthened, I don't think that in near future it is going. Like if you see the US markets, all the 3 US markets are in the green.
Right.
But similar is the case with Asian and European markets. But Indian market, see, it touched 29,000 BSE a few weeks before, 8-9 weeks before, but now it's just roaming around 25 and 26,000. So I don't think so that investors are going to invest in the bank. See, similar what happened to the gold purchase. The same day on the intervening night of 8th and 9th November, when Modi ji announced that, people rushed to buy ornaments to the jewelers, and the notional rate was as high as 50,000 per 10 gram.
Absolutely.
But day before yesterday, gold reduced by 1,700 rupees per 10 gram.
That's a very interesting point.
Very afraid of investing.
That's a very interesting point you have made, and Mr. Zafar Syed, a lot of people and a lot of experts feel that the bulk of money, in India isn't money at all. It's held in gold, real estate, silver, or Swiss accounts. What would you want to say to these people? Because they're taking this demonetization tangent to a whole new level.
Vineet, the question you were discussing earlier with Mr. Harsh about the currency movement and whether rupee will appreciate or depreciate. The biggest concern for the reason for rupee to depreciate, as Mr. Harsh Ranjan rightly pointed out, that the Indian stock market had come off from the top or high of 29,000 to 25,000 level. As a result, whenever there is a sell from, and if you see the FI number, foreign institutional investors number, if you see that they are investors, they are sellers in last few trading sessions, they are continuously selling in Indian market and redeploying their investments in US market, because they feel that the interest rate is high and the market is looking very positive. There, the growth of numbers, whatever they are projecting, is very, very positive. So they are rebalancing their portfolio, and as a result, they are selling in Indian market and redeploying it in US market. So that has created some pressure on rupee. But that how long that will continue, we don't know. But if you scan the global economy, the prospects of Indian economy and India as a whole is very, very promising. So there are investors right now selling because they don't want to take any currency risk, because even if they make 10% on their investment, and if the currency depreciates 10%, then their investment will generate nothing. That's why they will sit on the fence for some time once the rupee is stabilized, and then they will start pouring money in Indian market again. And as a result, you will see that rupee will start strengthening. Just like it is weakening now, it will start strengthening over a period of time. So I am not overly worried about the rupee movement, because we know that there is a pressure on rupee because FIIs are selling. But the same FIIs, will the rupee get stabilized at certain level, then same FII will start investing in Indian market and the rupee will appreciate further. As far as the concern, you are saying that the investments, see, a demonetization process has begun. This is one of the initiatives which the government of India has taken. But we know that, and Honorable Prime Minister has very clearly stated that our drive against corruption and black money is a permanent one. It's not the only initiative they have taken. And if you see that measures are coming, announcements are, policy measures are being taken on a regular basis for two reasons. One, to ensure that the common man doesn't suffer in the process and everything gets stabilized, but also the black money holders also get penalized in the process. So let me assure you, whether you are holding in asset, whether you are holding in Benami property, whether you are holding in any other form, the government of India is extremely serious, concerned and committed to ensure to unearth all the black money from the system and ensure that who are culprit and or holders are being penalized in the best possible manner.
Okay, Mr. Nasir Hussain of the Congress Party, sir, what is wrong with the black money being funneled into white, and what is wrong with the banks having a very high liquidity? They are overburdened with the NPAs. This move has been strongly opposed, and it's supposed to be debated in the parliament, but it just does not function because the Congress seems to have a lot of problems with demonetization. Your perspective, sir?
See, a policy decision which has put the entire economy into confusion. There's so much of chaos, confusion in the market. The common man, which our BJP spokesperson was very sympathetic about and talking about, I think doesn't know where to go. The common man is suffering like anything for the past 22 days. If any policy in a country taken by the union government, it doesn't help the common man of that country, I think there's no use in having such kind of a policy. What we have seen in the past 22 days is close to 80-85 deaths. What we have seen in this country is long queues. What we have seen in this country is the agrarian economy going haywire. The farmer doesn't get even 500 rupees, 1000 rupees which he wants to get in cash because he doesn't have ATMs, cards, and the farmer doesn't have enough money to buy seeds, to pay money for the daily wages for the laborers working on the fields. He doesn't have money to buy fertilizers. So what is happening in this country? Each and every aspect has to be debated. Blanket statements and aggressive posturing that black money, fighting against black money, they are fighting against fake currency, they are fighting against terror financing and all those things. That is fine. Who is against that? Is anybody against it? Has any party said that we shouldn't fight black money? Has any party said we shouldn't remove the fake currency that is there in circulation? But is this the way? For everything, the Prime Minister has to answer.
What should have been the alternative, Mr. Hussain? What alternative would you have proposed, sir? Sir, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. I'm sorry, sir, I'm interrupting you. What alternative would you have proposed, sir?
See, the entire country, the entire opposition in one voice is telling that there should have been enough preparation before announcing this policy. There should have been enough preparation. Point number one. Point number two, when it comes up for debate in the parliament, if the Prime Minister is present in the parliament for discussion, I think many more things will come up where the opposition can suggest the government and the Prime Minister what to do at this crisis. Had it been discussed earlier, that is a different thing. Now when there is a crisis, when he has put the entire nation into a crisis, now there should be a debate, and he is not ready to debate or discuss. He is instead of that, he is choosing to talk to the parliament via public meetings organized by his political party. He is the head of the nation. He is the head of the government. He is the head of the parliament. He has to debate, discuss and answer in the parliament. He is answerable and accountable to the parliament.
So what you're saying in a sense, Mr. Hussain, is that the Prime Minister of India is evading questions. Mr. Harsharanjan, do you concur with that, or is the Prime Minister actually waiting for the right opportunity once the opposition actually calms down and all the rabble-rousers are probably told to sit down and take their place, and that is the time when he will talk?
No,
and when they actually start to see the virtue in demonetization, is he waiting for something like that?
No, I think opposition is making unnecessarily hue and cry in both the houses of parliament, and they are not letting the parliament run through. Yesterday also and day before yesterday also, ruling party is continuously saying that Prime Minister will join the debate, he will come, he will answer. But the opposition parties, they are not allowing the house to run smoothly. Today also it has to be adjourned before time. But only one question is there, what opposition is asking, and they are very correct when they ask, was the government prepared enough to deal with the situation which would have come after demonetization? See, it was bound to happen. When you currency notes of 500 and 1000, which made 70% of the total currency in the market, that situation had to come. So we have to deal with the situation. Yes, there is problem to common people, but I have personally met at least 100-150 persons queuing up in front of banks for transaction. They actually, 50% of them, they actually don't need the money for the day. They are just passing their time, standing in queues. I have met persons who said that he comes every day and stand up in queue because he has to pass the time. He doesn't need the money for that day. They are withdrawing 500, 1000 every day. So the nation has to understand, the people has to understand. If you go to any bank, you see all chai walas, all rickshaw walas, all thera walas, all sabzi walas, well, they are standing in the queue. So they have to understand, if you need money, only then you go. And the situation will not going to be smooth before, I think, 2 or 3 months.
Okay, Mr. Zafar Syed, this is probably a question that you've been asked on many forums, and I'm probably going to ask you again. It's an interesting question. The preparedness of the government, sir, is that something that the opposition is right about? You know, there are long queues, there are people who stand in queues. By the time their turn comes, the banks run out of cash. But actually the people who are hoarding and laundering black money, they have it stacked away in their coffers or real estate or in gold or silver or in some Swiss account in Zurich.
Well, two things. One is that in terms of preparedness, whether the government was prepared or not prepared. Let me tell you that government had debated everything internally, but for the sake of secrecy, that has not been discussed with a larger section of the people. That is one. And this decision had to be kept in complete secrecy. Secondly, this kind of dissent needed a very strong political will, which no other Prime Minister had ever had the guts to take this kind of a political dissent, because it's not a political dissent. I mean, this kind of dissent is not a political dissent. Let me tell you, it may go against us, but it was in the interest of the nation the Honorable Prime Minister has taken. So you must appreciate and congratulate the Honorable Prime Minister that he has taken a dissent which is not a gamble, which he knows that it will go, common man will go through some problem.
Mr. Zafar Syed, why is the opposition? Why is the opposition? And
let me just complete. Let me.
Okay, sir. All right. Go ahead. Finish, sir.
Let me just complete. So, third thing which is very important, that the kind of decision he has taken has no precedence. So it was bound to some bottlenecks will come, and that's why committees have been formed in Ministry of Finance, in RBI, to monitor day-to-day situation, review them, and come up with any policy measures to ensure those bottlenecks are removed. It is the long queue, as Mr. Harsh Rajan has pointed out, partly because today I went to 2 banks. One bank there was a queue, the other bank there was absolutely no queue. So that shows that
they must have run out of cash.
The queue slowly is coming off, and No, no, no. That's the bank where there was no queue. I have withdrawn from that, and you can cross-verify that I have withdrawn from that bank itself. So all I can say that there are instances where you will see that there are queue. But let me tell you, we are this week we had focused primarily to ensure that the currency reaches the rural area. The urban area already has money, but rural area, bank in rural area should have money, and that's why the focus was in rural area. But let me tell you, all these difficulties will end in some time, and everything will get stabilized. But the opposition party who is criticizing the government, hiding behind this common man, actually will have a very difficult time, because these common men are actually watching who are the who is the person who is actually advocating the corruption to end, and who are the political parties and their leaders who have very bad track record, their bad credentials, are actually becoming a bottleneck to and criticizing the government.
Okay, let me
it is for them to realize, and I'm sure that the government
let me pose a question to the opposition, sir.
Okay,
sir, let me pose a question to the opposition as well, sir. Mr. Nasir Hussain, you represent the Congress party. Sir, forget your differences, forget your manifestos, forget your mortifying defeat in the Lok Sabha elections. You don't see any virtue in demonetization, sir?
See, let me first answer to what Mr. Zafar was telling. See, he was speaking about the preparedness. When the opposition is questioning about how much the government was prepared, it is not that how much they debated among themselves. The whole world knows that this decision was taken by one person. It is being implemented on the direction of one person. One person is patting his back. One person is trying to take the credit. One person made this big announcement. So that one person should come to the parliament, and he should be accountable, responsible, and he should answer the parliament, answer to the people in the parliament. That is one thing. Second, by preparedness, what we mean is, when they are trying to suck 14,60,000 crores of currency from the market, which amounts to 86% of the total currency, they were not prepared to put that much of currency back into circulation to the banks. This was not prepared. When they had gone, when they were planning to change the size of the notes, they had not recalibrated their ATM machines, which are about 2 lakhs in numbers in this country. Where 2 lakh ATM machines are not enough, we need much more than that. At least the recalibration should have been done. So they were, see, the kind of notifications from that have come from 8th night till today. I don't know what is the number. It must have crossed, they definitely crossed 50, 60, 70 number of notifications that have come. Every day they are coming with 3-4 notifications. If there was enough preparation, there wouldn't have been chaos near the banks, there wouldn't have been chaos in the market, there would have been chaos in agricultural economy. That's what we are telling. Everyone wants to fight black money.
All right.
Demonetization, if it really helps the country, if it helps the common man, if it helps the nation building, that's fine.
Okay.
But we are speaking about the current condition that is there in the country.
Okay, all right. Well,
and the other panelist was saying that the opposition parties are simply making you and cry.
Would probably concur with me, sir, is not unprecedented. Something similar was done by the Janata Party, and they got voted out in the next
in 1978.
In 1978, and they got voted out of power. So the question I'm arriving at is, sir, is Modi's popularity is at stake because of this particular move? Because the people who actually voted for him or for the BJP party are the people who are the biggest sufferers.
See, we can't say that Modi's popularity is on the stake, because it's too short a period to come to any conclusion for that matter. Yes, there is chaos outside the banks, there are panicky among mainly rural people, but on the same hand, I would like to ask the BJP spokesperson, well sir, we all agree that Modi ji has taken a big decision, it needed a political will to take such a big decision, and he has taken it. But will you not agree with me on the issue that for the first time RBI is seeing a weak, a mute governor in Urjit Patel? He is not coming out, and he must have been a yes man to Modi ji. He probably never said that calibration will be needed if you change the size of the note, and many such managerial issue. He must have been doing yes, 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 and only because of that, because we don't expect the Prime Minister to know all these micro details, but RBI Governor must have told, which Urjit Patel didn't.
Okay.
Rajan, I understand you are a journalist. No, let me respond. I understand that you are a journalist, and sometimes a journalist needs to speculate to prepare a story, or I'm not saying that you are concocting a story, I'm saying that to make it like a good story. But that's not the truth. Truth is that he is speaking when it is needed, and he has spoken if 2 days ago also he had a press conference. So it's not that he is a mute spectator, he is doing his job. Right now the focus is to ensure that this everything gets stabilized, and he is on the job, and he is primarily focusing on that rather than coming out and just talking to journalists.
No, Zafarji, now Urjit Patel is concentrating on destroying. You know today's news. Now Urjit Patel is concentrating on destroying 500 and 1000 rupees note and shredding it out, how it can be done, and it is the process has already begun at 3 centers in Maharashtra. So there is liquidity crunch for
no. I think again I must tell you, no. You must understand that you have a capacity. Beyond a capacity, you can't. So the storing capacity of the RBI is also limited. So you need to create capacity for the new notes to be stored. And then
release the new notes to banks in the market, to public pocket. So you don't need to keep new notes at RBI centers.
No. So that is being done, but there is a Mr. Harsh Rajan, the note goes to the bank through following a process. The process is being done. It goes to a certain process is being followed when actually it reaches to common man or in the bank for all of us to withdraw from over the counter. So that process is being followed, and he is as a governor, that is his part of his responsibility which he is discharging. But what you said, that the RBI governor was a yes man, as just a sycophant of the Honorable Prime Minister, it's very harsh statement on a governor who cannot speak and defend himself, because he's not a political person. You will criticize him, but he will keep quiet because that's not his job. But let me tell you,
that means what Raghuram Rajan did during his tenure. That means, sir, that means what Raghuram Rajan did during his tenure.
No,
you are not
a good coordination between government and the institution is good, but RBI is an independent agency, and they are working independently. Their views are being respected by the government, and it will continue to do so.
It was not the case with Raghuram Rajan. His views were never entertained by the government.
Right, absolutely.
That's why he had to leave.
He paid a price for it.
I think again you are speculating. Again, you must go back and see what the Honorable Prime Minister has said about Mr. Raghuram.
Okay, let's get a reaction from the Congress spokesperson as well about Urjit Patel. Mr. Hussain, Urjit Patel has not said much, and Shaktikant Das is probably left with doing all the talking. You find anything amiss with that?
See, I don't know how the BJP spokesperson can so openly lie on the television channels. You know how, in what circumstances and why Mr. Raghuram Rajan was forced to leave RBI. So what was the position between him and this government? Was he towing line or was he not towing the line? Everyone knows.
Do you think he left because he was not a yes man? Do you think he left because he was not a yes man?
That's why you know what was in his mind? No.
He was not a yes man. He was not a yes man. He was not a yes man. He was one of the best brains the country could have. He was one of the best brains. Because Modi wanted an yes man. Because Modi wanted an yes man.
Has Raghuram said anything?
And because Modi wanted an yes man, and Modi wanted to speak as an Modi wanted to behave like an RBI governor. as
Has
an economic advisor,
Rajam was
as
working
an
on their
revenue
behalf to
secretary,
base of the
as an
Congress?
finance secretary.
No, I'm
Modi
asking
wanted
you.
to become everything.
He was
Modi
a
wanted to become
government.
everything. That is the
Prime
reason
Minister
why he
has
brought
been-
Urjit Patil.
He has not spoken anything about it. But your Congress is speaking on their behalf, on his behalf. On what basis? Do you know anything? What he said to you?
Please allow me to speak.
That he was
Mr.
working
Zafar,
at
please
your
allow me
Okay,
to speak.
Mr. Zafar Sayed, let's
Zafar,
allow
when
the
you were
Congress
speaking, I was
spokesperson
not
to speak,
speaking.
sir.
No,
No,
what
when-
are you speaking?
Mr. Zafar
Zafar,
Sayed,
you are
let's
telling
allow
me that
Mr.
I am
Hussain to
telling
speak,
lies.
sir. Let him get his
First tell
that
his
you-
point in, sir. Let's
that
maintain the
Mr.
decorum
Rajam
of
was
our
working for
respected show,
Congress,
Mr. Zafar
not for the
Sayed.
government. Can you tell this?
Okay, so if you repeat your question, we will ask Mr. Hussain to answer it for you. Mr. Sayed, go ahead. So repeat your question.
No.
Ma-
Let
ma-
me
ma-
first
Mr.
tell
Say-
Nasir.
Yeah,
he
please,
said
please.
I'm telling lies. Is the very stupid statement of coming from Nasir Hussain, who happens to be a lawyer. You must understand.
Please
that
allow me to
Honorable
speak.
Prime
Yeah,
Minister has
please allow me
praised
to
him
speak.
The way he has.
Please allow me to speak.
No, let me complete. Let me
That
complete.
everyone knows,
And-
please allow me to speak.
And Nasir Hussain, you must
No,
know.
please allow me
that
to speak.
Raghu
The whole
Rajam-
world knows.
Raghu Rajam, ex-governor,
No, the whole
has
world
said
knows.
why he has quit. His term has not been extended. He has not quit. His term has not been extended. Why do you expect that every
please
governor
allow me
is-
to speak.
term
Please
is
allow me to
extended?
speak. Please allow me to speak.
Okay, we don't have much time, Mr. Hussain. Just
Speak
concluding
sensible thing, don't
concluding
speak
thoughts from you,
nonsense.
and I hope they are
See,
brief.
the problem with this prime minister is, the problem with this prime minister is, he has put his yes
Problem
man
with the-
everywhere.
problem with the
Right
corrupt
from the Gujarat
Congress
chief
leadership
minister
is there.
to
That's why you are
Gujarat chief
criticizing
minister
the
to all the
government.
position in the
Nobody is
government of India,
criticizing the common
including
man.
the RBA
You must see the
governor's
result in
post.
Gujarat.
Okay, well,
And-
Mr.
and-
Mr. Hussain and Mr.
I
Zafar
must
Sayed,
see the
we will have to
result
we
in
will have
Gujarat.
to
Wants to become
we will have
a-
to
Did you
end
get
this
the
debate
lesson?
and
Did
this
you get the lesson?
and this conversation, or rather this argument between Congress and BJP right now. We have run out of time. Mr. Harsh Ranjan, Mr. Nasir Hussain and Mr. Zafar Sayed, thank you so much for being on Current Issues. It was a very fruitful debate. Inconclusive maybe, but it was still fruitful. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.